So, welcome to the Antonio Parkinson Project. I am Antonio Parkinson. You are watching the fastest growing visual podcast in the Memphis market. Today on the show, we're talking about racism in the music industry, 5 things not to get dad for Father's Day, and we got Boo Mitchell in the building. Yeah. So look, make sure you stick around, hit that subscribe button. We'll be right back. You're watching the Antonio Parkinson Project. Welcome back to the Antonio Parkinson Project. I am Antonio Parkinson. You're watching the fastest growing visual podcast in the Memphis market. We are growing by leaps and bounds, and we appreciate you being here. Hey, look, June is Black Music Month. All month long, we are celebrating Black music and those individuals that make it happen for Black music. I want to welcome my wonderful, wonderful co-host, Angelica Jelly Woods, in the building.
Looks like I was just here. Maybe I'm just having deja vu.
Hold on, though. Come on, tangerine dress.
It's a loose dress, okay?
Sundressing. Is it see-through, though? I'm trying to figure out what's going on here.
It is kind of got a little peekaboo on the side, but I got shorts on.
Okay. Mitch? Look.
Right.
Hey, man.
Has been.
DJ Kojak in the building. DJ Kojak on 4 times.
Bam.
Oh, there it is.
Add to it, boo.
Right. Boom, did you hear that scratch?
Yeah.
There you go.
Whole town right there.
He added to the scratch.
Boo Mitchell in the building, baby. Give it up for him. Yeah, man. Yeah.
Come on now.
Hey, Boo, we're excited to have you, man. You know, it's Father's Day weekend, man. First of all, thank you for joining us.
Bro, thanks for having me, man.
Man, look. First of all, don't come over here with no bougie shit now. Look. Come on, I need Boo Mitchell. I need Boo Mitchell.
I don't know how to do it.
Right. Man, look, man. First of all, man, look, it's interesting. And I don't know if it's weird to you or not, but you come from iconic blood, right? Willie Mitchell, right? We got to talk about Pops.
Yes, sir.
And I am fortunate and blessed to have shared some life and spent some time with Pops.
Yeah.
Who I thought the world of absolutely wonderful individual, right? But you spent a life.
I spent a life with him.
Right. Yeah, man. Yeah, tell us a little bit about Pops, and we're going to get to your stuff, too.
Man, so Willie Mitchell, my grandfather, technically a father on paper, because he adopted his grandboys to give us a name. He basically was the architect and the inventor of the Memphis soul sound.
Wow.
And, that's those that know, but it's not something that's widely known. Everybody knows him from Al Green and all this stuff. But 20 years before he met Al Green in 1952, when he got back from the war, he wanted a new sound in music. And he played trumpet. His brother James, my uncle, played saxophone. And he said, man, because everything back then was big band and jazz and all that stuff. So he started his own thing, and that sound became adopted by Stax and American and really the world. His music, everybody knows him from Al Green, but his reach is far deeper than that.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's incredible, man. Incredible legacy. But tell us some of the artists that Pops work with, and
Pop
then we're
work
gonna get to you.
So Bobby Blue Bland, Al Green, Ike and Tina Turner, Chuck Berry, Ann Peoples, Otis Clay, Aretha Franklin, Rod Stewart, Keith Richards.
My goodness.
Wait, De La Soul.
De La
you know
Soul.
De La Soul came to the studio.
Yeah.
to produce
Yeah.
them. So just
Meaning they use his samples.
yes, sir. Shout out to DJ Zerk.
Right. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's
Yeah.
incredible though, man. And you witnessed some of that, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Well, tell us a story about being in the studio watching these players.
So I think the one of the coolest things that I saw in the studio was when him and Al Green got back together to do an R&B album.
You're watching the Antonio Parkinson Project.
And back in 2002, they did this album called I Can't Stop. And I've been in the studio with Pop and Al before, but not as I was an associate producer. So I'm like involved in the project, and Al Green is out there in the vocal booth doing the vocal, and he starts walking around. The mic is here. Al all over the place singing. I jump up to say something. Pop like, no, let him, don't say nothing to him. But the magical thing is that Al's voice, it sounded like he was standing right there.
Wow.
So that was like, it just, a goosebump moment. Like, this
man.
cat
And
has
you witnessed.
mastered the microphone,
Yeah, and you witnessed.
I witnessed
He
it,
knew
yeah.
where to be and the proximity to be at that mic.
Yeah, it sounded like he wasn't moving at all, but he was all over that joint.
That is
Yeah,
incredible. Absolutely
Yeah,
incredible. Man, can you imagine, and for those of you that don't know that have never been to Royal Studios in South Memphis, can you imagine the energy that's in that building?
Oh, man, bro. Look, every time I walk, even when I was a kid, I knew it was something magical about the studio. You know what I'm saying? When you're a little kid, you feel stuff. And even to this day, every time I stick my key in the door, I'm fortunate and blessed, and just you can feel that energy that it's in there. It's even Pop talked about it when he was alive. He was like, there are good ghosts in here, O.V. Rice in here, Joe Cougars in here. You know what I'm saying? And people are still coming. Something that's been happening more recently is that artists have been coming to the studio with no music written, coming in with a band, writing it on the spot, recording it on the spot.
Capturing
and me, I'm like, man, y'all crazy. Y'all ain't got nothing written. Y'all gonna write it in? I'm like, okay.
I'll bring the budget, though, right?
Right. And man, magic happened. I did BJ the Chicago Kids last album.
Did you?
He got an album called Gravy.
Man, you got to tell us when these folks in town, man. We got to have them on the show. Yeah, seriously.
Real talk. But man, they came in and stayed for a week and left with 15 songs.
He's dope as shit.
What?
Man, BJ is he that cat.
I have a question for you though.
Yes, ma'am.
When you said you were assistant producer in the studio, I'm guessing you didn't go to college, right? It was trained.
I tried to go to college. I went to Shelby State for a year.
We both of us.
The Bluff City, shout out to the Bluff City Classic. No,
But it's hard for creative types to be in that formal space, right?
Then I went to Christian Brothers for a minute, but I'm working on my rap album, at the time, and I'm like sitting there going, I'm like, what is Algebra 2 and all this?
Right.
Like it just, and back then they didn't have, they got all kind of music programs and production. They got all kind of stuff. They didn't have that back then. If you want to do music at Shelby State, you had to be in the choir, and I can't sing at all. So it didn't last long for me. It wasn't my path, and thank God that I had, my family was, especially Pop was, he was never like pushy, but he was supportive, and he would do little things like if he saw, like, he never made us do music or none of that. My grandmama put us in piano lessons. We got kicked out. And then Pop came home and showed me how to play Ray Charles. And I was like, that's what I want to be doing there. Not this Beethoven.
Right.
And so Pop would just enhance. So if you showed interest in something, he would enhance it. He'd be like, oh, okay, you want to do this shit. Here go this drum machine. Here go the synthesizer.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You had everybody in there, man. Willie Brown. Come on, man.
Recently, Bobby Rush just cut 2 records with him. Isaiah Sharkey been in the joint, Joss Stone, William Bell.
Joss Stone, man.
Man, that gal can sing.
Joss Stone,
She can sing.
man. Look, but so who are some of the biggest artists that you've seen come through, and who are some of the biggest artists that you've personally worked with?
So, biggest artist I personally work with.
You're watching the Antonio Parkinson Project.
So, biggest artist I personally work with. John Mayer, one. Wu-Tang Clan, one. Bruno Mars, probably the biggest.
Wow.
Right. Tell us about that.
So the Bruno thing happened. It was cosmic, right? So do you remember Eileen Nathaniel from Clear Channel?
Yeah.
Okay, so Eileen,
Shout out to
back,
Eileen, yeah.
shout out to Eileen. So back in the late 90s, early 2000s, me and my brother Ballhead had a label,
Right.
and we had this group 201, and Eileen was the program director.
Shout out to Archibald here too.
Okay, so Eileen would never play my records, right? I'd take her record. She
would never put nobody record.
I don't hear the record, but she was a little bit, she was like going to the principal's. I was like, damn, and I'd bring another one. So flash forward to 2014, I get a call. And it's Eileen Nathaniel. And I'm looking at my phone. I'm like, shit, am I in trouble? What's
Right.
Principal office.
Wait, can I cuss on here?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So I'm like, hello? Hey, boo. I'm like, hey.
Right. Different tone, right?
Different tone.
Right.
She told me she had these producers coming to town and they was looking for talent. So I couldn't get the names right. And I was like, yeah, that's cool. I'll get some folks to come and sing. Yeah. And the producers ended up being Mark Ronson and Jeff Basker. And Mark, we know from Amy Winehouse. We know him from all kind of stuff now. And then,
big producers.
yeah, and Jeff did a lot of Kanye West records, did a whole Jeff Basker, insane dude as well. So I didn't know what they was looking for, and I didn't know what they was working on. So I called, I got Big Baby, Marcus Scott, and I got this cat, Chris Johnson, that ended up being on The Voice, kind of like a
we know Chris.
pop singer.
Yeah.
So get them all in. As soon as Mark come through the door, he like freaking out about the artifacts. Al Green's microphone number 9, the Ann Peoples electric bongo. So he, after a couple of hours of him freaking out, he like, man, we better listen to these folks sing. So he heard he heard the folks sing, and everybody's leaving. And on his way out, he like, man, I want to make my album here. And I'm like, okay. Gave him a card, and I honestly didn't think he was gonna call because folks come to Royal and they, be in the moment like this great thing, but they forget about it. So get a call a week later. It's like, this is Nicola from Mark Ronson's office. Mark would like to do 11 days and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, oh, shit, yeah, 11 days, come on, let's go.
Get it.
So he comes about, man, all this stuff happened like in a 2-week period.
Right.
He comes like 2 weeks later. And when he comes, he's got Trombone Shorty. He got 2 of the Dap Kings. He got Steve Jordan and Willie Weeks. Steve Jordan is John Mayer's producer, also the Rolling Stones' current drummer. Willie Weeks played bass on Donny Hathaway, David Bowie, all kind of stuff. Who else he got? He got Lana Del Rey's producer.
Man.
He got a whole. I'm going, man. What the hell is what these folks finna do? I'm calling folks. I'm like, nigga, ain't nobody cutting records nowhere. They everybody.
Right.
So cut this. Start recording these amazing tracks. And during that session, he casually says, "Hey, man, I got a record. I want Bruno to come here and make." And I'm like, inside, I'm like, he talking about Bruno.
You kept your composure.
Outside, I'm like, all right. And he plays me the demo to Uptown Funk. And I was like, damn. They took, because my kids had played Trinidad James all gold everything about a month prior. And I'm like, damn, they took the ratchetest rap song and flipped it. So flash forward 3 months later, Bruno comes. And they wrote half that song in the studio.
Really?
All they had was the piece of it.
Right.
So they were there for 3 days, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Bruno got a plane to catch 8 o'clock Monday. Friday night, they ran out of booze. They drinking Jameson. They ran out of booze like 2 a.m. So I called my homeboy, JJ, Jerry Lee's on bill. I'm like, man, I need a bottle of Jameson now, bring it back.
Right.
So, get the booze. We cool Saturday. Sunday night, they writing the song. It's like 3 or 4 in the morning. They going through the Skippy and the Dragon and all the stuff, And they ran out of booze about 4:15. So it's Sunday night, Monday morning. At this point, Beale Street closed. Everybody closed. So I'm like, shit, there's got to be some booze in my dad's office. So I go in Pop's office, and next to his Lifetime Achievement Grammy is a bottle of Four Roses bourbon. Now, this bottle is numbered and signed in gold. Bottle 8 of 100, signed by the distiller. So I looked at that junk. I was like,
take one for the team, right?
Sorry, Pop.
You're watching the Antonio Parkinson Project.
Crack it open. Bruno just happened to be. They wrote that song like back there with the tapes. In the hallway.
Yeah.
Bruno had his cup on the tape ledge. He said, "Yeah, Boo Mitchell, fill my cup, put some liquor in it." And by 4:30, that lyric was in the song. So get him in the vocal booth. Cameron Whalum in the house too. Shout out to Cam.
Who brought Cam? Was it?
Cam has been Bruno's trombone player since the beginning because his brother Kenny hooked him up with him. But anyway, stick Bruno in the vocal booth. Put him on the most expensive mic I got. We in the studio, we like in the control room. Dan, we up jamming because it's Cat singing Uptown Funk. This shit sound good. So after a couple of takes, he's like, man, I want to do the vocal in the control room. And on the inside, I hear the Psycho shower music. Yeah. And I'm like, oh, shit. I'm like, because I don't have time to pull in headphones.
Right.
And so I'm just thinking, I'm like, shit, what mic won't feed back? SM57. So just like I thought about it, handed it to him.
Right.
I stood in front of one of the speakers. He stood in front of me. Everybody crowd around. He did that vocal like 3 or 4 times. SM57. So I'm knowing they're gonna replace it and get a call a week later. His engineer like, man, the vocal we did on the 57? I'm like, yeah, we're keeping it for the record.
Incredible, man. Incredible story, man. So incredible.
$89 mic.
$89.
Got me a nice paperweight.
Man. And how big did the record get?
That record sold 14 million copies. It was number 1 for like 11 weeks. At the time that Uptown Funk came out, the music business was at the all-time lowest sales that it had been in 20 years. And Uptown Funk, brought the whole industry up, and it got me a Record of the Year Grammy, which I'm the first and only Memphian to have a Record of the Year Grammy, which is kind of fucking stupid.
Hey, look, don't go anywhere, man, because I want to bring you back for another segment. So y'all don't go anywhere. You're watching the Antonio Parkinson Project. We'll be right back.
Grab a backwood and roll up. Grab your cup and let pour up. They didn't want us round it first, but now they act like they know what. Hey, but they show love, yeah, we show out when we show up. I don't even do the liquor, that shit might make me throw up. But we turned up, this the after party. Shit grabbing on my body. White girl got a bottle in the club, and that going gnarly. Turned up in a wreck the party. We just brought out everybody. No, we got our have some fun. We at the after party.
Hey y'all, it's Michael Kaya and it's the Antonio Parkinson Project I'm on. They have fun around here. They got chicken and everything. If you really want to get the word, know what's going on in your neighborhood, in your community, in your blackness, you need to tune in to the Antonio Parkinson Project. And ain't even in the projects. Okay, so tune in. We love you. Keep God first.
You're watching the Antonio Parkinson Project.
Welcome back to the Antonio Parkinson Project. You are on the fastest growing visual podcast in the Memphis market. So hit that subscribe button. It's a good time to do it right now. But look, check this out. June is Black Music Month, and all month long we're talking about black music and those people that are behind the successes of black music. We got in the studio with us Boo Mitchell. Y'all give it up for him, Boo Mitchell. Look, and so I had to make an executive decision. I said, you know, we got to do another segment with, you know.
We're going to be here all night. He going to pay for my babysit. Boo Mitchell, you going to write a check for my nanny.
For your nanny. It won't be the first time.
You got it, Angel.
Right, yeah. Write that check.
We've been doing this forever.
Right. So you know, the Bruno Mars record. That's what we were talking about. Uptown Funk, and you know, and the reason why I want to bring you back for this segment also is because I also want to talk about the importance of that record because it had been a long time since we had a full band record, right? And spawned off of that, you know, at the same time, you know, coming up at the time was Anderson .Paak. Right?
Right. That's right.
He was on the South Central soundtrack with Dr. Dre. That's where I discovered him, man. That's where I found him first.
That's right.
Oh my! And I said, and I was playing at South Central. It took a long time for the South Central soundtrack to come out. After the movie. Right.
Yeah.
And I was playing that soundtrack, right? And it's 2 songs on there with Anderson .Paak, right? And I'm like, who in the fuck is this? Right? Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And
this cat.
And then, you know, but the Bruno Mars projects, and especially, you know, Uptown Funk, you know, brought back the full band, horns, instruments to the music business.
Soul and funk.
Right? How that's so vitally important, man. We can't walk past that, man. What did you think about that when you and then my second part of the question is, what was the difference between the demo and the finished version?
Oh, man, the demo and the finished version, it was night and day. Like the demo was just, it was a piece of the hook and a piece of the first verse. And it wasn't, you know, no horns.
Right.
It was just, it was basic stripped down. And dude, that's Bruno playing drums on the record. That's him in the studio playing the drums.
Right.
It's so crazy to watch.
Man, so
And most of the time, it's got to be a vibe. I don't think this record would have been this record if they would have did it anywhere else. That's just me.
that's very true.
I mean, because like the spirit of the place,
Yes.
and even things that he would say, like you just said with the liquor,
Bro,
you know, things.
From me being
Magic.
around them folks when they were writing that song, whenever I hear a Bruno, so he got a writing buddy, Philip Lawrence, the dude with like the thick eyeglasses in most of his videos, eyebrows and shit. So those are the two that write together, and them folks is wild as hell. They just like high school.
Yeah.
They in there cracking jokes. But from me being around them, when I hear any Bruno song, I be like, that's a Bruno lyric.
Right.
That's a Phil lyric.
When you're around you've been around some of the best producers in the world, right? And when you're around these guys, do you pick up some of their habits with what you see with them?
I notice. I wouldn't necessarily say pick it up, but definitely I learn from the experience. Like every session that I do, I try to learn something. You know, music is something you can't never think that you have it all figured out, because the minute you do, then you become obsolete. It's like you still have to have that childlike, experimental, first day of school curiosity. So I'm still learning. Like every project I do, I learn something. You know what I'm saying?
I have a question for you, though.
Yeah.
Okay, so like, first of all, you're a legend, and I think it's crazy, like the guests that they're bringing on here. This is not shade. Just for this to come from Memphis, I'm like blown. That's not shade, Parkinson. Don't clip. He gonna clip
She's
that part.
from Iowa, boo.
Yeah, I'm from Iowa.
Right.
I've been there one time.
Yeah, the black girl from Iowa. You remember that? But I'm amazed because, like I tell other guests, like it makes it seem obtainable. It's different when you hear across it happen in Australia,
Right.
be extra, but it's like you said you were born and raised here. Now, off the scenes, I asked a question. Like this studio that y'all referring to is still here.
Yes, ma'am. It's
The door's open.
The door is open. It's the oldest black-owned studio in the world.
You're watching the Antonio Parkinson Project.
It's the third oldest recording studio in North America, and it's the fourth oldest recording studio in the world. And it's
So you're like a big wig. So
I don't know about that.
You are. It's okay, but I love the humbleness. It's okay. I'll gas you up. I'm gonna pedal on everything for you. Okay, you be humble. But so let's say an ordinary person. I'm not a rapper or anything. You just don't work with any like Tom and Joe or whatever. What would it have to be? What would they have to take to work with you? Like I don't know. Like produce what they do, slide in your DMs, or do you look at people on Instagram that's come up with that? What person looking like what?
Because that's not true. He does work with everybody.
Yeah, I work with everybody.
I don't know, but you assume when you dropping Bruno Mars, you're like, well, dang, I ain't got no chance. I ain't his caliber.
I work with everybody. The kind of music that my normal thing is to do live instruments.
Gotcha.
So a lot of times people call me for tracks and stuff. I mean, hell, I made tracks in '88, but I don't really do that no more. So my thing is, I found what speaks to me is live instruments and having cats. You know, every now and then I'll do a session that has some programming in it, but if somebody want to do something and it's live instruments, that's what I do.
But let me ask you this though: where is your passion? Is it in producing, engineering?
It's producing.
Where it's producing?
It's first producing, and maybe second engineering and songwriting, close second and third. Because I write too. I wrote BJ, the Chicago Kid, and Coco Jones, their single "Spend the Night."
Come on. Coco Jones, fine as hell too.
Yup. I wrote that. Look,
Okay.
sorry, I had a moment there. Yeah,
She real fine.
yeah, she real fine. But
She's from Tennessee too. Did you know that? You know, her dad played in the NFL. Mike Jones. He used to play for the Rams and played for the Titans too.
straight up,
Yeah, they live in Nashville. They got restaurant sandwich shops in Nashville.
oh,
You didn't know that?
no, bro.
Yeah.
She close, real close.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
but yeah. She's a talent though too.
Yeah,
She's an
yeah,
incredible. She's a true talent also.
Yeah, triple threat.
Yeah, yeah. So look, man, and I just want to touch on some deeper stuff too, man. It's Father's Day weekend. Your father,
Absolutely.
your family, y'all dealt with some, tragic incidents.
Absolutely.
A couple years back. How has life changed for you?
Man, like with my son and his injuries, it just made me love him more, and just not take for granted any of your children, any of the moments that you have to be a father. Sometimes as fathers we deal with stuff that we don't necessarily want to deal with, but we can't look at these things as a problem or a tragedy. We have to look at it like it's an opportunity for me to be a better man, to be a better father, to be a better dad, So when, things happen with all your kids, but, I always try to show the love and support and just like do everything that I can do, to lift them up.
Yeah. How does the tragedy or the situation, make you feel about what's going on out here in Memphis today?
Man, I must say that I'm really I don't really like what I'm seeing, in the news, and kids they need something to do. You got schools don't have sports programs, music programs. We had stuff to do, and the idol's mind is a devil's workshop and playground. So, I think somebody's got to come up with something for kids to do. All the spinning, what do they call it, slide shows and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm like, if they want to do that, why don't y'all designate an area
Right.
and let them do it and make it, like give them trophy, like make a thing out of it instead of like sometimes we're the older generation now. We're so quick to condemn and judge and try to enforce when, that was us 30 years ago. We was riding around miserable. We wasn't necessarily sliding.
We was
but
flicking though.
We was
wasn't sliding,
flicking.
though.
We was flicking.
Ain't that right?
And bumping. We had
flicking, right?
We had the kickboxing.
Right.
But you know,
we was locking them in the trunk. Right. DJ Zone.
You're watching the Antonio Parkinson Project.
But you know, I don't really like what I'm seeing on both sides from the community and the authority. I think there's a way to, you know, it's got to be a way to bridge those gaps and to outreach and to get us on a different trajectory. Because, you know, to me, Memphis is the greatest city in the world. Memphis versus
almost ran
everybody.
church.
Okay,
Look, almost. You see how man, you got to get
like,
man.
okay,
Right.
and you know, a lot of people. I had an artist from the UK recently tell me this young, you know, 25-year-old actress, British white girl. She was like, "It's something about Memphis." She said, "I feel the presence of God here more than I've felt anywhere in the world."
Oh wow!
And it, you know, I would have to agree with it because in Memphis, like we embrace folks. You know what I mean? We real. We not gonna be like smile at you, and we really want to frown at you.
Right.
We want to
This ain't
frown.
LA.
We gonna frown. Like.
Right.
So it's a genuineness and a realness that Memphis got that it don't exist like that, bro.
In any other city.
I've traveled the world. I just got back from New Zealand, Australia, and London. I mean, it just don't. The Memphis realness, people like, oh, if Memphis gets super commercialized, will it? I'm like, hell no, we ain't gonna never loosen our real.
Nah, it's a real soul here. And I'm a
yeah.
transplant too, you know, from California, you know, Texas. But Memphis is the most unique city.
People are drawn here, like
Yes, sir.
everybody. You know, most of our legends and stars come from somewhere else. My dad in Mississippi. You know what I'm saying? But it's an energy and a spirit here, and you know.
Yeah, there's a hell of a gravitational pull. I'll tell you that. Boy, you come here and you get stuck.
Okay.
Right. But look, hey, so it's Father's Day weekend, right? We got to ask this question.
Yeah.
5 things let me say it the right way.
Give us one.
5 things not to get dad for Father's Day. Come on, boo, give me one.
Oh man, I'm trying to not hurt nobody's feelings.
Man, hurt your feelings.
What's the worst gift you done got?
5 things
I wouldn't say
not to get dad.
I wouldn't say worse, but sometimes there's some things that you need to be there in person to get your shoes.
Okay, right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because
Yeah, but what
they
not
might
to,
not.
what should
might
they not get them?
shoes because them joints might not fit. They might not fit right. I don't know, man. I'm always grateful to get her. When I was a kid, I would be mad that somebody would give me socks
I was
or underwear. And now I'm an older gentleman, at least the body is, and shit, I need socks. Give me all the
Right. Angelica, 5 things not to get dad for Father's Day.
Hell, I was gonna say socks. People say tired of socks and ties. They said they don't want no socks or ties. I don't know what they said. I don't know what to get. What? I don't know. I have no idea.
I'll give you one.
What?
Don't get dad a hooker for Father's Day.
Oh,
hooker.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
I'm saying. That probably won't be good for that.
That won't be good for that.
No, I
Don't
think
get that ass.
Right. Don't go pick nothing up off Lamar and bring it to dad for Father's Day.
Not
Dad-
Lamar.
Right.
How about just don't not recognize Father's Day? I think that's more installed. I don't think men even care like that. Yeah, I'm serious. Y'all boo me.
Womp, womp, womp.
Okay, whatever.
Right.
Well-
DJ Kojak, 5
go?
things not to get dad for Father's Day.
Well, I'll give you one.
Okay, give me one.
Let me relax. Don't give me no shit for one day.
No honey. No honey.
Don't call my
No
phone.
honey-do list.
Yes.
I'm not changing no tires. I'm not coming out
You're not changing tires.
chilling.
You're not changing
Right.
tires.
I'm not doing nothing on that. Don't give me no shit.
Don't give
Just
me
let
no
me relax.
shit. That's it.
That's fine.
Let me be me.
I take 2 of those.
Right. Right, Angelica. Now, see, we're trying to teach you something over here. We're trying
I
to
do a
teach you
good. I
what
ask
not
my
to
husband.
give
I do.
Mitch
I get
for
my
Father's
husband.
Day.
My husband. People look at my husband and they. I'm a good gift giver. I don't never let him outdo me. So
But don't be
we don't
honeydew the
we don't
brother.
have no problems with that. Don't do what?
Don't honeydew him on Father's Day. You
I don't ask him to do
creating
anything.
a honeydew list.
He don't do
Right.
nothing. I let him spend time with his girls. He has an older daughter, so I kind of let her kind of choose because like kind of what to do with her dad because she's 21. So I mean, this year I told y'all we did a staycation. I paid for everything. We stayed in the hotel. He relaxed. We went out, hit some rooftops. He got a gun save. One time I did everything for all the fathers. I don't think some of the wives even wanted to celebrate some of the dads that day, but still I put it together. So
Yeah, we being Kodak,
I do a
Kodak.
good job.
Did you get a Father's Day gift from Angelica?
Did I get a Mother's Day gift?
Yeah,
But that's just like a woman.
Did it show up? They
Hey,
didn't,
Kodak.
they didn't deliver it.
No,
didn't
and I'm
deliver
a
it?
first time mom. Y'all got y'all kids. Oh, y'all been daddy in a long
Damn.
time. I'm 1 year mama.
You're right about
Am-
that.
Amazon Prime. You
Thank you.
really got
I'm
to call
1
them.
year mama. Y'all been at this for a long time.
Well, enjoy this because when they grow up, it's gonna get.
Yep, that's right.
It's
that's
gonna get
right.
what?
She'll see, huh, Kodak? So look,
Yeah.
we're going to come back in the next segment. We got, let me say that again.
Yeah, wow.
So I can cut that out. We're going to come back in the next segment and we got DJ Zerk coming up. Lock him in the trunk.
You
Y'all
should
give
be
it up for Boom Mitchell in the building. Yeah, man.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Hey, you want to
Chris
give
Pat
everybody your social media? How
Social
can they find the studio?
Studio on Instagram at Royal Studios Memphis, and then I'm Boo Mitchell Memphis.
Can we come visit the studio? I want to see
Hell
the
yeah.
studio. I
Yeah.
want to go see it.
Oh my God!
I want to feel the spirit.
Come on.
Oh, man,
I'm
you will
I
feel
did.
that energy when you walk in. Though,
Yeah.
seriously.
Okay,
Real
I'm
talk.
looking right
Real
now.
talk.
And I'm gonna say this: when
Mm-hmm.
I walked in a long time ago, it makes you want to do something in there.
That's
Yeah.
You cannot
bro,
go in there and not want to do something. I'm like, oh
That's
my
what Mark Ronson said. He
Yeah.
said the
Yeah.
studio makes you
Yeah.
want to play music. It's got a muse. He said it's got muse to it.
Real talk. And look, I'm fortunate enough to say I actually recorded a demo in Royal Studios that was engineered by William Brown.
William
And-
Reed.
I don't want to go. I don't want to go. I don't want to go.
Yeah.
I don't want to go no
So-
more.
You know,
Y'all went down. I'm just joking.
So we'll be right back. You're watching the Antonio Parkinson Project.
Guessing to find you. I always in the mood. I told you, you always wanted something like this. Hold on to you.
Hey guys, what's up? It's Elise Neal. You are watching the Antonio Parkinson Project. Stay tuned.
You're watching the Antonio Parkinson Project.
Powered by Black Market Strategies.